Hi there. This is my first showcase of my Bedrock Arkham mod. Hi there. This is the second showcase of the progress on my Bedrock Arkham add-on. Hi there. Welcome to my third showcase of my Bedrock Batman add-on. Hi there. Welcome to my fourth showcase of my Bedrock Batman add-on. Okay, real quick before we get into the video, I just want to thank you for clicking on this video. It really means a lot to me. To my returning viewers, there is a little message for you at the end of the video. If you're just stopping by, welcome in and enjoy. Hi there. Today we'll be diving into how I added a grapple hook mechanic to the Gotham Edifice experience. Hi there. Today we're going to be getting into how I made a investigation web mechanic for the Gotham Edifice experience. Welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be going over all of the new additions and changes to the Gotham Edifice add-on. In this video, we're going to look to make some decor and ambience for the Gotham Edifice experience. So, we're going to play a couple games and get some inspiration. Hey! So this one's going to be a little different. The video is releasing on the exact 1-year anniversary of the video in this series. So we're celebrating. You want some editable drywall? No? I knew you wouldn't want them. More for me. I'm the solo developer for this project, so keep that in mind. I'm super proud of what I made though, so we're going to take a look at every single thing in this add-on. There'll be a fun little pop-up to tell you which video each feature is from. Just like that. Okay, Pebbles, dim the lights. Welcome to the Batcave. So, I'm pretty sure you noticed the Batmobile back there. Now, this wasn't made specifically for the Gotham Edifice experience, but it's just too cool to not include. Like, come on, look at it. Anyways, let's get into the actual Gotham Edifice stuff. So first we got the Batcomputer right here, and you can see it's got a custom viewing angle and a custom UI. So far we haven't done a lot with this, mostly because we haven't needed to. So like we could put in, let's see, we could put in like a code like Batman or something and enter the code. And eventually in the future what we want to do is make it so that when you put in a specific code, you could like unlock a gadget or unlock a special suit or something like that. But all the buttons, they do work, they just don't have any like screens to go to. So yeah, that's the Batcomputer so far. We've got the investigation board. So with this one, if you find it around the world, probably around like the GCPD or, you know, here in the Batcave or something, when you interact with it, it'll take you to your headspace. So this is where you'll take pieces of evidence and string them together to piece together what crimes were committed and how they were committed, and will lead you to different questions and stuff like that. So that's where all of that will take place. And then we have the way to get back, which is a little Shakespeare statue reminiscent of the 1960s Batman. So if we just interact with this, it'll take us right back. Okay, cool. So now that we're back, let's look at the suit fabricator. This is what it looks like. It's got like a sewing machine and a console to go with it. So if we interact with it, you can see we get another custom camera angle. And here you can see that we have all these suits. So what you can do is you can click them and then you can click to equip their different parts. So here's just a couple of them. And now you've got a new suit on. Now that's cool and all, but it doesn't have all of the suits in it just quite yet. But we do have all the suits in here. Welcome to the wardrobe. So we have 24 different suits. All of them lined up here. And we're going to go through every single one of them so that you can see where they're from. So you've got classic black and gray. Can't go wrong with it. It's just your usual Batman outfit. Then we've got Tim Drake's Robin. And this is based off of his more recent comics, if I'm correct. So that's pretty cool. This is Batgirl. It's kind of an amalgamation of a bunch of different Batgirl outfits. It's just kind of like the boiled down standard, kind of like the Batman black and gray. It's like not one specific suit, it's just kind of like the generic one, you know. Then we've got the Arkham City and Arkham Knight suits. Saw the Arkham Knight suit just a little bit ago. And so those are pretty cool. We haven't added the Asylum or Origins suits yet. Asylum we haven't added because it's pretty much the same suit as City, but you know, let me know in a comment if I should add that. And Origins we just haven't gotten to yet. There's been so many new suits that we've made that we just haven't had the time. But let's get into the movie suits. So with here we've got Michael Keaton's 1989 suit.
You are? Yeah, I'm man.
And we've got the Batman 2022 suit, which I'm wearing right now. Now let's wrap all the way back over here. So this one was a special request from Blood Panda on YouTube. It's the Batgirl of Burnside suit. So that's pretty cool. It's got like a leather jacket instead of like a spandex suit. It's kind of cool. Then we've got the Nightwing suit. This is another one of those where it's kind of the generic suit or more recent suit from the comics. Then we've got the Gotham Edifice suit. So this one is made specifically for the Gotham Edifice experience. So when that map launches, this will be the suit that you get first. Then we've got 3 different Lego suits for whatever reason. So we've got the base 2006 suit. We've got the 2012 sensor suit from Lego Batman 2. And then we've got the heat resistant suit from 2006. Well, I guess the game came out in 2000. Yeah, whatever. You get the idea. Then if we move up here, we have the 70s Nightwing suit. One of my buddies in my Discord said, "Oh, you should make it. You won't." And I did it anyways, just to spite them. Well, yeah, whatever. Kinda. And then we've got a special request from Heir of Azrael on YouTube. And as you could imagine, it's the Azrael Nightfall suit. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Then here we have the Talon suit. So this one, because you're supposed to be wearing it, we decided to give it a trench coat, because usually the Talon suits are just kind of like a skin tight suit, but this one we decided to put on a trench coat that you can use when gliding, so that's pretty cool. You can check out the video for that just to check it out. And then we've got a couple animated suits. We've got the BTAS suit, Batman Animated Series suit. Pretty cool. Pretty simple, but pretty cool. Next up is the Batman Beyond suit. This one's really cool. I like that it doesn't have a cape. So when you are walking around and stuff, it doesn't have a cape at all. And then when you start gliding, it pulls out the wings, kind of like in the show. And it does the same thing for the Nightwing suits as well. So they've got their own like wing suits that pop up when you start gliding. Then we've got the obligatory Batman First Appearance suit. So you got your purple gloves, you got your funky ears. And yeah, not much to say about it. It's the first appearance suit. Then we've got the blue and gray suit, so it's pretty much just a recolor of the black and gray. So nothing too special about that one. And then we've got Flashpoint, which is Thomas Wayne, and I'm realizing we don't have the helmet for that one. Okay, there we go. Now it's working. So this is the Flashpoint suit, like I said, and this one's pretty cool. It's got like these shoulder pads with like spikes and stuff, and the red, black and gray is like, it's really different, really cool. I like it a lot. And then we've got the 2004 animated series suits. So we've got the base suit right here, pretty cool. And then we've got the antifreeze suit as well. And there would be the pilot suit here, but it didn't win the vote in my Discord, so maybe next time. And then lastly, we've got the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh suit. This one's really cool. I really like the crazy symbol on it. And then it also has like a tattered cape too that looks super cool when gliding. I'll put a little video of it up right now, but it looks really cool. I like it a lot. And that about does it for the suits. Okay, so now let's take a look at the gadgets. So here we have all of the gadgets for the add-on so far. So we have the explosive gel. Right now it's broken, but if you watch the video that it was first in, it works perfectly. It works exactly like the Arkham games. So you get 3 charges, and then if you try to use it after those 3 charges, it explodes and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. And I don't know if we're going to use it for Gotham Edifice. I made it when I was just trying to recreate things from the Arkham franchise, but since we have our own creative direction for Gotham Edifice now, you know, maybe it stays, maybe it doesn't, we'll find out. Then we've got the Batarang. It's a Batarang. Then we've got the grapple gun. This one has had a lot of different iterations. So first it was that you could use it to just grapple the things, and then it was used to do like a grapple accelerator, so you could launch off points, and then it was then it was used to like just put you on top of the block you grapple to, and then it was finally given its own dedicated video, and we dove into how it works now, which is to react differently to different types of blocks. So as level designers, we can decide how the player is going to interact with the world a little bit more, so that they're not just like, you know, grappling all over the place and then, you know, they skip whole levels or whatever. So yeah, there's a whole video on it. It's super good. Go check it out. Then we've got the IR scanner, which is also broken right now. And part of it is because it doesn't work in RTX or vibrant visuals. And we're looking into a better way to do this mechanic anyways. So this one might be just left in the past, which is unfortunate, but you know, it happens. Then we've got the smoke pellet. This one is pretty cool. It does like a small flashbang and then covers the ground like 5x5 in smoke for like 5 seconds or something. It works pretty much exactly how you'd want a smoke pellet to work, and even in predator sections it does mask you so that you can get out. This is new. I haven't put this in a video yet. This is the camera mode editor. So previously we had a camera command, but because of some changes to the way that add-ons work, I haven't been able to turn it back into a command quite yet. Just haven't gotten to it, or it doesn't work. So now it's an item and it works super well. And this was shown off in my Discord. So if you want to see what exactly it all does, that's in my Discord. Then we've got the forensics powder. this is used for crime scenes. So if you find evidence, you can use the forensics powder on it to put powder onto it. Wow, crazy. And then you can use a brush to brush it off and get fingerprints. Then this one is a mystery. This, not even my Discord has seen this. This is the first time anyone's seeing this one. This is the next gadget that will be in the hopefully next video, and we will get into that when we do. And since we're already over here, let's take a look at the collectibles. So this is the riddle box. So you have a riddle that you need to solve, and then when you solve it, it will, you know, open a passageway or unlock a suit or unlock an Easter egg or something like that. So it's not like the Arkham games where you just pick it up and then you're good to go. You actually have to solve the riddle for it, and then the light turns green. So that's pretty cool. And then we've got the orreries. It's kind of a weird word in your mouth. It's an orrery, but it's these models of different planets. So this one was a very early design where we wanted to use them in a specific group's like hideouts, but we didn't end up going with that. So they're just kind of relics and just kind of cool little eye candy. A fun fact though is that relative to each other, these are both scientifically accurate. So this Earth will spin 30 times before this moon reaches full 360. And then this Mars, these are the actual speeds of the moons around them, and they both are rotating in relativity to each other. So these are accurate models of these orreries if they were to be spun at the same speed. So it's pretty cool. Scene change. Welcome to the playtest area. I've set it up for the next video already. I wonder what that's going to be. But anyways, we're out here and we're going to take a look at all of the level design features. So right here, we've got the checkpoint. So what it does is when you enter a specified area by the developer, it will set your spawn point to be where this entity is, so that if you fail in an encounter, that you spawn in the right place and not like somewhere completely all the way across the map. So that's what that does. And speaking of those encounters, you will also need a encounter handler. So you set up a specified area as well as a padding around it. So it will save all of the entities inside the specified area, and it'll keep them in those spots. So when the player enters the padding area, the encounter handler will spawn the entities in the right places so that it's the same encounter every single time. Next up is the dev tool. So with the dev tool, it's used for all of the entities and props and stuff so that you can change their attributes, like with the posters or signs, cobwebs, graffiti, or the evidence. They all have attributes that need to be changed by developers, and that's what this tool is for. The dev transformer is similar, but it's more for the physical space. So you can cycle between the X, Y, and Z and their negative values and the rotation of an entity. So you can specify exactly where you want the entity to be and how it should look. Next up is the entity ID copy. This is for when you're linking two different entities together. So like the evidence and the headspace evidence. So there are two different entities and you may need to link them together so that they both interact and can affect each other. So what you can do is you can use the entity ID copy and link them together. Okay, so this is the prop killer. So all of the entities in this pack are invincible to an extent. So not the enemies, but the props and, you know, the level design things, they're all invincible. So we have a tool to just automatically kill them when you are in creative, because we don't want them to be destroyed by the player in survival when they're actually playing the map. Okay, so these are 2 recent additions, and they are the gargoyle head and the gargoyle base. So the gargoyle head is invincible, and the gargoyle base is what you use to place the gargoyle. So this one's invisible because it doesn't need a model, and then this one has the model with it. The enemy gold block and the enemy gold block cooldown work in tandem to make sure that predator encounters are predictable and won't overwhelm the player. So the enemy gold block is where the enemy wants to move to. So they'll pick a random gold block around them within 16 blocks, and then once they've reached that block, they will set it to a cooldown block. So what that means is that once they reach this, it will make it invalid for other enemies to go to that block. So that means that when they've reached that point, there won't be any other entities that try to go to that block with them. So that negates the problem of having a bunch of enemies all surrounding one block, and it just makes it more predictable and easier to work with for the players. Okay, so here we have every single item and entity lined up on a wall for us all to see. So there's 96, if I counted correctly, different items, including the spawn eggs. And a lot of these spawn eggs, like the webbing or the fire system or the evidence pieces, have a lot of variants in them as well. So there's even more features than what we're seeing here. So we've got all the suits, and then here's all of the dev tools and props and gadgets and all that stuff. So here is pretty much everything in the add-on so far. Editor Levi here. So this also doesn't take into account the immaterial things like being able to crawl into 1-block gaps, or the animations for enemies, or the ability to fall from great heights with no fall damage, and just all those other things that go into the add-on to make it cohesive that I can't get into in this video because this video would be like 3 to 4 times longer. So yeah, that's all of the material features, not all of the features and mechanics of the add-on, but those are the material features. Okay, so now I want to take you on a little field trip. So here's what the world looks like. So we're gonna go see a couple different sets for a couple different videos because I just think it's something a little bit cool to look at. And this is where so much of my pain and suffering was, because nothing was working for so long and finally we got it working in that video. So super glad that we got it all working. And this is where I recorded the video for all of the on-site evidence and stuff like that. So this is where we updated the investigation board and introduced all of these new items and all of the fire system assets, as well as the on-site evidence, the newspapers and sticky notes and all that stuff. And seriously, check out this video. It goes over a ton of different things and tells you how to set stuff like this up. So it's pretty cool. And then I even used this set to show off these curtains. These were in my Discord. I made these curtains that are super fluid and really, aesthetically pleasing. I really like them. So that's just another thing that was in this world that I have been testing things in for nearly a year. Okay, so this is a really recent one. This is the set for the previous showcase. So this is where we talked about all of the new props to just build up the world. So like the webs, the signs, and the graffiti and posters, as well as the new gargoyles. So this is what the whole set looks like, I guess. This was for the thumbnail. This is the angle right here. Those aren't supposed to glow. That's just RTX being weird, but yeah, this is where the thumbnail for that video was from. So that's kind of cool. Now we're in a different world, and this is what the outside of the second or third showcase looked like. So this is what we were dealing with. It was like a sort of cathedral area, and this is when we first introduced all of the turrets into the game. So that's pretty cool. The turrets and the riddle boxes. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so this was the second Predator room that I had come up with. Well, I guess the first like fully fleshed out one with all the different mechanics and the enemy gold blocks and stuff like that. But this is what it was looking like. And if we head out here, this is what it looked like outside. Here is the set for the dedicated grapple video. So that's pretty cool. I think that video has the most views on my channel right now. So that's pretty cool that this is where that started. And here's where all of the grapple testing is. So this is the theoretical scenario that we had, and you know, we've put in all of the different versions since. The like swinging around corners test and swing test and stuff like that. And this was to test the particle to make sure that it was working right. Pretty cool area, just showing where everything was tested, and I don't know, I think it's cool. Let me know in a comment if you think it's cool too. And that about wraps things up. So thank you for being here, and thank you for celebrating 1 year with me. And sorry I couldn't go into every little detail about the add-on in one video. It just would have been like so long. But there's 3 hours or more of content on my channel already that you can rewatch or watch for the first time, and they go in depth in all of those videos. So all that to say, thank you for watching, thank you for being here, and I can't wait to see what this next year holds. Bye.